Hi, thanks for watching. In this video, we're going to take a look at how Google ranks your website in the search results and how to take advantage of that to drive traffic to your site by getting it on the first page. So just for comparison, I've taken your site and the top search results for a couple different searches, and I plugged them all into this tool that I use, and it shows me all the information that Google finds on your site, and then it rates its strength and its trust on a scale of 1 to 100. So just taking a look at the numbers, we can see why these businesses are showing up on the first page and outranking yours. But let me go into a little detail about what these numbers mean and how we can improve them for you. So I've got your website pulled up here, and the first problem I see is that it's not secure, meaning it doesn't have an SSL certificate. The reason why that's a problem is because when anybody comes to search for your site, this is the error message they're going to get. And it really makes it look like they have to go back to safety. Since this is the only one that's lit up, they actually have to click advanced, and then they have to go down here and click this just to be able to get to the site. And it really kind of scares away a lot of people. Beyond that, the other problem that I'm seeing is just the amount of content that's on the page. The reason that's an issue is because when Google is looking to rank a website, it's going to do so based on two factors. The first is the content. So it's going to come in and it's going to count all the words and text on the page. It's generally looking for a minimum of about 1,500 to 2,000 words because it assumes that the more information you have on the page, the more of an expert you are, and the more likely it is to recommend you in search. Now, while it's counting the words, it's also looking for keywords, which would be anything that somebody might type in a search, which is usually going to be a service that you offer and then the area that you offer it in. Now, this is where the number of words on the page particularly comes into play because you're only allowed to have one of these keywords for every 100 to 150 words of text on the page. Now, the second way that Google is going to rank the website is based on what's called its authority, which is pretty much just a popularity contest. Now, there are two ways to build authority for your website. The first is to get as many citations as possible. Citation is any time that your name, address, and phone number appear in an online directory. Those are like Yelp, Yellow Pages, Better Business Bureau. They're all free. Just take some time to find each and every one of them, register your business, and then input the information exactly as it's shown in Google. The second way to build authority for your site is through what's called backlinks, which is when another website links or refers back to yours. It acts like an endorsement that Google uses to build trust because others are vouching for you. You can kind of almost look at it like a customer review. If you had 1,000 five-star customer reviews, a new customer would think pretty highly of your business. Google is doing the same thing, it's just using other websites to make this determination. So just taking a look at your authority, just quickly, if I define these terms, if say the local news station did an article on their website for the best home renovation companies in the Niagara Falls area, and in that article, the reader could click on a link and it would bring them to your website, that would be considered one backlink from one referring domain or one referring website. So we can see just from the statistics that these other companies have been doing a lot more of that backlinking and authority building to bring some more trust to their site, which is the reason why they're showing up in the top of the search results. Just something to note here is it's not just a matter of the quantity of these links, it's also the quality. So we need to be finding any kind of blog posting sites, news and media press releases, or any articles that are relative to your industry, anything to do with home renovation, remodeling, construction, something like that. Now, this kind of authority or trust that Google has in your site is going to determine where it ranks in the search results. In this section here, what we call the organic search results. On top of that, this is what we call the map pack. This is actually a pretty important area to try to get into as well because it appears at the top of the page and most people, statistically speaking, up to 50%, if they don't know exactly who they're looking for, will just start clicking on one of these top three because it's right at their fingertips when it's on a mobile device. Now, this section is free to be listed into. You just need to fill out your Google business profile. It's inside of the Maps app, so you can do it right from your smartphone. When you're filling that out, you want to make sure you complete as much of the information as possible. So you want to include the services that you offer, the areas that you offer it in, even your hours of operation. Then you want to be continuously adding photos that are geotagged inside of your service area, as well as posts onto your profile on a regular basis. You want to have customers leave reviews as often as possible. And then you want to get as many of those citations, your name, address, and phone number listings. You want to be listed in more directories than anybody else on this list. However, regardless of the authority, you won't show up in either of these two sections without the right keywords being found. So if we look at your site, Google is only finding 4 keywords on your site right now, and it's basically all of your name directly. The reason being is there's just not enough content on here to qualify. And then unfortunately, these are just in a list. They need to be appearing organically in paragraphs and sentences for Google to pick them up. It doesn't allow you to just list them. Google considers it what's called keyword stuffing. Otherwise, we could basically just make a website that's really basic and just list every single area and every single service. But Google would unfortunately not pick that up. So just by comparison, we take one of the competitors just so I can show you. These are all the words and phrases that are being picked up on their site, as well as the volume, the number of times per month they're being searched. So this is where some research gets done, and we try to find the highest volume keywords relative to your area, and then also the services that you offer. And then we try to make sure that those are included on your site. So for instance, if you're doing bathroom renovations, that's being searched 200 times right now in Google. If you're on the first page of search results for this keyword phrase, 200 people a month will be seeing your website. We usually use a pretty conservative estimate and say only 10% of those will actually become leads to your business and give you a call. Now, I don't know what the conversion rate is for customers that call you to jobs actually getting completed, but let's say even if only a quarter of those actually become customers and get a job done, you could be looking at 5 new jobs per month just off of one keyword phrase. And then we repeat that same process for all the highest volume keywords and make sure that those are being on your site as well. However, this, unfortunately, in order to do that, it would require rebuilding this website with a lot more content so that way we can add those keywords so you can be picked up. Now, I hope this information was helpful and allows you to scale some of your online presence. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or if you'd like me to go into any further details. We could also talk about your goals, and I could do some research to find out what it would take for you to reach those. And I always appreciate getting feedback as well to find out if information like this is useful for you. So please let me know what you thought. Thanks, and I hope this helps.